YouTube, it's Janarissa back with another video, and today I'm giving an update on my job search since my layoff and how I'm doing. So, of course, there's ups, there's downs. Some days really suck, and some days give me the smallest little flicker of hope. You know, God says you only need faith the size of a mustard seed, and some days it's absolutely the size of a mustard seed. I'm a little back and forth as far as mental health goes and how I'm feeling, how optimistic I am about things. It's been 6 weeks since I was laid off, and within these 6 weeks, I have applied to, I think at this point, 55 jobs, and I'm at like around 35% rejection rate without anybody ever even contacting me. It's like the whole generic, we had so many great applications. While you were a strong applicant, we're deciding to go with other candidates. Some version of that is what the rejection looks like every time. And they always come at like midnight, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So when I wake up to another rejection, and it's like, you never even reviewed my application. But whatever. So last time I talked about how I have been picking and choosing and shifting different strategies for how I'm applying and looking for jobs. So for every application in the last 4 weeks, I would say, I have been tailoring my application using ChatGPT. I put into ChatGPT what the job description is and tell them to align my resume with what that job description is. If the job has a space to include a cover letter, I have been putting the job description into ChatGPT, telling them to create a cover letter, and then I go in and make some adjustments to it just to make sure that it sounds like me. It's highlighting all of the skill sets that I want to highlight and putting in a little bit more information about me and who I am as an employee and team member, so that it's not just regurgitating all of the things that are on my resume, but adding a little bit more detail and information. On top of that, I also started using a platform called JobScan, which takes the job description and your resume, and it gives you a percent score on whether or not it would pass an ATS system or applicant tracking system scan. And so I have been using that, I would say, within the last 2 weeks to try and get my resume to an 80% match score before submitting, in hopes that that will help me to at least get past the AI portion of screening and have a real live recruiter review my application and resume and hopefully be contacted about an interview. Also, in the last 2 weeks, I started working with a job coach. So when I was laid off, as long as I signed the separation agreement to receive my severance, included in that was 2 months of outplacement services with a job support system. So it's like a whole platform that has trainings and documents and information that includes how to revise my resume and how to create a personal brand for myself, and how to network, how to brush up on my interviewing skills. There are a variety of trainings to do various skills, like learn about project management and learn about using statistical software and things like that. So I have been brushing up on skills, learning new skills so that I can add them to my resume and be more competitive as I'm applying to these jobs. It's still up in the air about whether or not that's working. I'm not quite sure. Only time will tell. We'll see. I have a assigned job coach who we meet one-on-one. At this point, we have met twice. And right now, I am in the process of also working with a resume team to optimize my resume as much as possible and ensure that it could pass the ATS scanning, as well as help me stand out as a strong candidate when I am applying to jobs. I have identified some job titles that I feel like closely aligned with where I want to go next and the type of companies that I want to work for. So while I'm still considering like nonprofits, the federal work and the federal contracting, that's a thing of the past, because obviously my layoff has shown that federal work and federal contracting work are not stable in this current presidential administration. And so I am stepping away from that and considering nonprofits, but really, really, really thinking about going into healthcare and health tech specifically, so that I can feel a little more stability. I mean, nobody's safe, right? There are layoffs happening left and right. Every time I turn around, there's somebody else saying that they were laid off from their job. But I just want to make sure that I am setting myself up to grow and be stable, at least for a little while, in this new job. And I think those areas are going to be most beneficial to me. And so that's another thing. So I've identified those specific jobs that I am interested in applying for, and the resume team is helping me tailor my resume specifically to those types of jobs, so that it's not as much legwork for each application when I'm trying to update my resume. Another thing that I've done recently with my resume is include more data and like more tangible accomplishments that I've had within my job. So when I was applying to jobs, I worked at my last job for 4 years. So at that point, I was not putting like percentages of increases or how many people I worked with or how many organizations I worked with on my resume. I was just basically saying what it was that I've done. But a lot of posts and research and videos and things out there are saying in this current market, it is absolutely essential to put numbers in your resume. So I have included how I've increased project efficiency and how I've worked with over 30 community-based organizations, or I've worked with staff within healthcare facilities to improve their processes and things like that. As an implementation specialist and public health analyst in my last job, I have a variety of different things that I was doing. I did so many different things within the last 4 years. So I'm trying to be more specific and tailor that so I don't seem all over the place, and be more tunnel vision as far as what skill sets are transferable into my next role. And I'm hoping that that helps me to market myself in a better way and effectively communicate what I bring to the table. One of the things that I'll be focusing on in the next coming week is absolutely brushing up on my interview skills. I feel like while I've interviewed here and there, the fact that there is so much at stake. So basically, my livelihood is at stake here. It's one thing to interview for things when you're already gainfully employed, but to not have a job and be concerned about how long this timeline is going to take to find another job, I feel like is in the back of my mind and playing with me to my detriment, where I'm more focused on the fact like, oh, I have to be perfect and answer these questions perfectly so that I stand out and they want to choose me to fill this role, versus focusing on how this is a reciprocal relationship between the two of us. And while I have something to offer them, they need to have something to offer me as well. I need to focus more on the role itself and what I'm bringing to the table and what this job offers me, versus just thinking about I need a job, period, to help cover my bills and contribute to me keeping up my life. So having that mind shift and being more positive and thinking it's not the end of the world if you mess up, you're human, is somewhat comforting. But I feel like my bills are still there. I still have to pay my bills. So I'm hoping that I'm able to make that mindset shift and that I continue to have progress in the coming weeks and more companies decide to reach out to me and give me a chance to interview. Um, yeah, so I think that's where I am right now. I'll probably keep coming back to update you all. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. If you have suggestions on how to improve my job search, I'm open to that as well. Like, comment, subscribe, turn on your post notifications, and until next time, stay healthy and stay well. Bye.